Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me. And yes, the head top is looking crazy, but it's even crazier underneath, so mind your business, all right? This episode actually had a lot of things to talk about. I was pleasantly surprised because I was thinking it's getting a little bit boring at this point, but this episode was good. So before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So Josh is gassed from the speech that Mimi gave him, and he says that he's now feeling more at peace.
As soon as I heard you say those words and everything just like kind of soothed in me.
Like I said, I'm a slow burner, do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of adjusting.
Thank you for that speech, I really appreciate that.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, that made me feel good. That's probably the best I've felt since I've been in it. Like, very territorial sometimes. It's a good and bad thing, you know what I mean? But I hope in this case, it's a good thing, you know? So
Do you know what? Like, I'm a chilled girl.
Yeah,
I'm a chilled babe.
I can't, like, it threw me off, though. Do you want to come and get a drink, or should I go and get it for you?
No, let's go.
Yeah?
I'm gonna be so honest with you people watching this video. This episode, I was very frustrated with my girl. Like, very frustrated. Because on the one hand, she'll say things like Josh is doing too much, it's a little bit too intense or whatever. But then when he asks you, am I doing too much? You don't give an answer. It seems to us like you don't give an answer, which could have helped him maybe dial it back a bit so that you can have a little bit of breathing room, right? But then every time we see y'all in bed, y'all be making out. So I'm like, okay, girl, like what's going on? Like, I'm a little bit confused. I mean, Mimi supremacy regardless, but she's not really making much sense to me. And yeah. She then says that she's a slow bird. And I'm like, okay, this is a different version of slow burn than what we've seen, because she kissed the man the first. I love you, Mimi. I love you. Let's move on. So Jess, we're gonna call her Jess now since she's the only Jess. The other girl is Jessie. She asks Io if he is all right, and there's obvious tension between them because of the speech that she gave, and neither of them initially, why does that sound weird? Initially, want to address it.
Babes, do you want to talk or no?
Yes.
Are you all right though?
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not
you
bad.
good?
Yeah, I'm sweet.
I had to get my little dig in that speech. I don't even think it was a dig. It wasn't even that bad, no.
Well, it is a dig. I don't know why you'd want to draw me out in front of everyone, but I guess if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, innit? So.
And what about everything else I said?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like talking to a wall. I'm gonna get a drink.
I think that Io has truly met his match. Because it cost her more, what was it? I need a little bit of space. Somebody who brings this new saint out of me. You got your spice. Oh, you got your spice. It's a little spicy, ain't it? Ain't it? Yeah. They were basically making it seem like Mimi is too... I don't think that they were saying that she's boring, but like the way that she's so reserved and so calm wasn't enticing enough for him. It wasn't exciting enough for him. So Jess was refreshing for him because, you know, it's a little bit different. She's more out there. She's more outspoken, and boy, does she speak, okay? To me, I think that Mimi is more of a person that he naturally would fit better with because he doesn't really like the pushback and the challenging. But Jess is somebody who he should be with, because you do need to be with a person who does challenge you. Not in a way where it's like you guys are constantly at each other's throats. Like, it doesn't need to be combative, but I think it's healthy to be with somebody who forces you to be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. Sometimes. It's not always, oh yeah, I'll go with the flow. Oh yeah, this doesn't bother me. Oh, we're fine. Let's pretend like there's no issues. No, let's talk about the thing, as hard as it may be. And Jess is doing exactly that. And I love that for him. So he says, actually, I think she says that her intention was not to draw him out. And he says it was a draw out. I also think that it was a draw out, a necessary draw out, but a draw out nonetheless. Nicole is excited that she's now in a relationship. Me personally, at this point, if you keep spiraling after this, nothing can save you. Because what assurance do you need? What assurance do you need? I'm getting preemptively upset because I feel like a spiral is on the way. But like, girl, that's your boyfriend now. Chill out. Thank you. Jess talks to Grace and Jessie But every time she talks to Grace, I'm like, Grace is just fueling the frustration. She's actually not adding perspective to help you sort out your emotions. So I feel like Jess should stop talking to her. But anyways, Mimi also joins the conversation and she talks about her frustration in her relationship.
I'm struggling, guys. I'm actually struggling.
Not that way inclined,
he
is
talks
he?
in riddles.
Yeah.
Like,
I think with me, it's just I can kind of read between lines of things, so I can piece together. Do you know what I mean? But it's hard for him to like actually speak. With Josh, it's going well, but he's like, it's quite intense. I was feeling so good about it, but it feels a bit like eggshelly. I'm a very respectful girl. I'm not gonna do anything to like make you worry. And if there was any worry, I'd tell you.
Do you feel like he's a bit clingy?
Isn't it interesting how Mimi and Jess should basically like switch partners? Because Mimi wants somebody who's more chill because Josh is too intense, which is Io. And then Jess wants somebody who's obsessed with her because Io is too nonchalant. That's Josh. But I also think that both people should be with who they're with because they challenge each other in a good way, you know? I do think that Io needs somebody who holds his feet to the fire just a little bit because you need to be held accountable for certain stuff. And as much as I love Mimi, I don't think that she was doing that for him. And he already said, oh, my type. Here's your type. Here's your type. You wanted your type? Here's your type. Deal with it. And then with Mimi, if somebody is smothering you, I do understand that is a very annoying thing to have to deal with. Like, totally get it. He could be love bombing her too. We don't know, right? But it is a little bit concerning to me that she would rather go to somebody who was giving her crumbs and the bare minimum than somebody who's actually showering her with affection. Like, I would rather go with the affection than the crumbs. That's me, personally. Girl, you want to go back to... She doesn't want to go back to Io, but she appreciated her connection with Io because it was more chill. And I'm like, I don't think chill is the word that I would use, but... Do you, girl? You like what you like. Grace wants... Oh, this is the next day? Oh yeah, I skipped a paragraph. So the next day, Kieran makes breakfast for Nicole. Sean says being exclusive was the highlight of his season so far. Io is still annoyed with Jess for calling him out in front of everyone. Reuben is also a bit annoyed with Grace's speech because she said, like, she's open. And he's like, I'm not... like head over heels in love with you. Like, what's that about? Lolly says that nothing happened in bed with Connor. However, she is happy. And Mimi says feelings are still present with Io, but out of respect, she and Io need to be careful how they are around each other. That is so frustrating to me. Like, so is Josh really smothering Mimi, or is he doing too much in front of Io? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Io wasn't around, would this be bothering her as much? Because it's like, you're kind of ruining my potential chance of rekindling. Like, I don't know. I don't, Mimi. I support whatever decision you make, but girl, please let that man go. So Grace wants to eat something, and Reuben is like, I actually need to talk to you right now. She's like, can I eat? And he's like, but I actually need to talk to you right now. So they have a conversation which leads Grace to now be annoyed with Reuben.
Thinking about it, I feel like you could have said that maybe just between us two.
That was just me being open.
100%,
And obviously I started being super like nice and complimentary.
Yeah.
Like, you can be open, and as am I. Like, even though we're going to be in a couple, which I'm excited for.
I think what these people don't understand about these speeches is don't blindside the person with the information in front of everybody, especially in an environment that's supposed to be, you know, giving words of affirmation to someone. You know what I'm saying? Like, at a speech, you don't want to hear about anything else than I like you, I like where this is going, ray-tay-tay, whatever. But now you're saying, oh, we're open. And it seemed like he was learning in that speech really where her head was at. And it's like, you could have told him before, which is what Reuben was asking for. So she's upset with him later on because she's like, we spent the night, you didn't say anything, we woke up and that's the first thing that you tell me. I'm actually not too mad at that. I feel like maybe in the night he was still in his feelings about it, and it's better to have a second to cool down and then address the thing instead of you saying it in the heat of the emotion. She didn't like that though. I don't know, whatever. Grace and Reuben, they're not gonna last anyways, but I'm like, I feel like he handled it well. Besides stopping her from eating, because that would piss me off too. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I'm gonna eat my food. Get out of my face, okay? Anyways, they have a challenge called Game, Sex, Match, which is basically a spin-off of the Newlywed Game. Grace, I'm not gonna say everything, just whatever I felt was important. Grace says she would have coupled up with Josh if she wasn't coupled up with Reuben right now. And Joey says that it would have been him. I don't know where he got this impression from, but even Jessie chimes in and she's like, on the outside, you're not even her type, so why are you talking right now? Like, no. Sean, I also want to know what her type is that Jessie's now aware of. Like, let us know. Grace, what's your type, girl? Grace, what's your type, girl? Not like we don't know, but like, let me know, girl. So Sean thinks that Io is more emotionally invested in his relationship, and Jess says so was he in Casa, referring to Sean. He then says Mimi is still in the equation, and I'm like, Sean with his little chatty ass. Don't get me wrong, like a lot of people were chatting, but whenever Sean did it, it was kind of like this, you know when there is a guy gang or even a girl gang, it happens in both groups, where there's that one person who's trying to like prove themselves to the head honcho. That's what Sean gives to me. It's like Joey is the man in charge and I need to kiss up to Joey and I need to show Joey I have his back, and he does the same thing to Io too, like I need to beat up Io's, and I'm just like, just shut your mouth, for goodness sakes. Anyways, Mimi and Josh both say that Josh is more emotionally invested, and at least they're aware of where things stand between them. Jessie says that Joey doesn't like her being friends with Grace, and he's acting like that's not the case, but it literally is. You're consistently bothered by Grace and Jessie's relationship. And then Sean says Grace is sabotaging Joey's relationship by being friends with Jessie. How? I've yet to see Grace say anything to Jessie to badmouth Joey. And even if that would have been the case, Jessie has been seen a few times backing up Joey, even when Joey's not around. So I don't think that she would let that slide. Like Sean, oh my gosh, he is so annoying. What do we have here? Matilda says Joey and Jessie won't last on the outside because he is still into Grace. He says it's Grace who was stuck on him, and he's been getting the vibe that she still wants him. Interesting. Reuben and Grace say that Io and Jess won't last on the outside because of Io's wandering eye. Valid. Joey got a lot of votes as the person who bitches behind people's backs, and the couples who seem to have unfinished business said that on the outside they would ghost the other person. So Joey and Jessie would ghost Reuben and Grace, and then Mimi and Josh would ghost Io and Jess, and vice versa. So after the challenge, Matilda and Joey tried to air things out, and we learned that Joey's motivation for thinking that Grace is still into him is the fact that she's friends with Jessie. And my thing is, like, you said that you caught a vibe, so what outside of that is the vibe that you've been catching that she's still into you? Because sure, they're friends, but they don't talk about you. What kind of narcissistic behavior is this? Like, he really thinks everything is about him. Like, Grace just wants him so bad. And maybe deep down, when Grace was talking about still open, maybe she was referring to Joey, but as far as what we have seen, she hasn't gone back there with Joey in any capacity. So, like, to be Joey, man, to be that self-centered, it's insane. So Nicole has a conversation with Mimi, who is currently conflicted about her feelings.
Obviously, we still feel things. We've just, like, put things out of hold because we're both in couples. We care about the people that we're with, so we don't want to, like, say anything that's going to hurt anyone. Jessica likes him. Josh is, like, telling me that he likes me. I'd feel bad to explore that.
I understand, however, right, sometimes you do have to think about yourself.
I feel like I'm stepping on eggshells if I was to even have a conversation with Io again.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to feel like that.
I know.
If that's what you're feeling, you've got to go for it. I can see it. I can see Io feels the same. I'm sorry.
Honestly, at this point, I literally have no words. Still support my girl, but, like, if she was my friend in real life, girl, you're doing my head in. Like, you're confusing me. You're really confusing me. I say here that even though Josh might be too intense, Io is not the person you want to explore things with. She says that she wants something simple, but to me, Io was always giving bare minimum. So Jess picked up on Sean's comments in the game, and Io tells her that there's nothing to worry about.
So do you think he just said that it was a silly comment? We do go from strength to strength every day, so a challenge is not gonna get in my head.
I want to do, do you get it?
Swear.
Stop.
Oh, you're actually my favourite person.
Them lot are just like,
Say it back.
But don't tell me to say it back, because then it seems
No, because
forced.
I was here like, just don't let this man speak you into circles and have you confused. Trust your gut. Trust your gut, okay? Sean was making comments because Sean knows more than you know. And Sean is apparently one of Io's besties. Why would he be saying that stuff so confidently in front of everyone? Trust your gut, baby girl. Trust your gut, okay? I will say that I did agree with Io when he was like, don't tell me the things to say to you. Because she was like, say that you're obsessed with me. Because obviously she's obsessed with him. And he's like, that's force. Why would I do that? Valid. Girl, I know I just said trust your gut, but like, dial that one back a little bit. Just a little bit. You're doing a little bit too much. It kind of gives the impression that maybe you're more insecure about your relationship than you're trying to let on. Like, if I latch onto him tight enough, he won't leave me, but that might be why he leaves you, because you're doing too much. But I also then feel for her because this man doesn't reciprocate enough for either woman. Like, when he was with Mimi, I felt like he wasn't reciprocating enough. When he's with Jess, I feel like he's not giving enough. Like, ooh, it's a tough one to navigate, but Jess, trust your gut. All right. Jessie is another one who has a gut feeling about Joey, and she pulls him up on his comments in the challenge.
She has latched onto you because she can't have me. You're best friends with a girl that I feel like has got strong feelings for me. It's just very strange.
How can you treat someone that you had feelings for in that way? And
Babe, what are you talking about?
I don't care about how Grace is.
I get you're
I'm
trying
not
to.
with Grace.
I know, but the only person I was upset for was you.
I don't want to have this conversation again with you again. I don't want
You're
her
best
name
friends.
to be brought up with this context in another game or challenge by you. If somebody else brings it up and you want to back yourself, absolutely. But I don't want you bringing it up.
Deal.
Joey is a weird one because he says that he was upset on Jessie's behalf, but Jessie wasn't upset. Like, Jessie, you're mad for your own self because Jessie wasn't mad at anybody. Why would she even be friends with Grace if she was upset with Grace? Like, stop it, sir. Joey is triggered by Grace on his own. Jessie is not bothered. She says she doesn't like how he's treating someone he used to have feelings for, and I thought that that was a great thing for Jessie to say because it's not just about how you treat the person you're partnered with. It's how you treat other people as well, especially people who you used to be in relations with, because you could easily do that to the person who you're with currently. Like, I really like that Jessie pointed that out. That was good. So after that, Joey pulls Grace to have like a hashing out conversation. It doesn't sound like he was trying to apologize, and I could see why Grace would be on the defense with him because you're constantly throwing out digs regarding me. But then now you're here basically expecting me to just be okay with everything. Like, no, you're slandering my name. I'm going to be upset. What is up with Joey? Like, actually, I think being on TV has really done a disservice for him because he has, what is it called? Is it called an external locus of control where he thinks that everything is happening to him? Like, no, you are the problem. Some things are internal, okay? Look within. Be introspective. Moving on. Grace tries to vent to Mimi and Jess about what Joey and her spoke about. And then Joey walks by and he's like, well, drop it. Like, what's the big deal? You said it's over, right? So it's over. Like, why are you bothered? Clearly, you're not actually happy. I was like, oh my gosh. He is so self-centered. Jessie, be careful. I would fear somebody who cannot see outside of themselves the way that Joey does. And I said this a few weeks ago, and it rings more and more true with every episode. Joey has an inability to apologize. He does not like accepting accountability. He does not like apologizing. He feels like everything happens to him, and he is always the victim. It's insane. It's insane. Oof. We will see what happens. Tomorrow night is the Snog, Marry, Pie. That always comes with some kind of drama. I hope Mimi chooses correctly, because I'm starting to get an attachment to Josh. I do like him. And I feel like at the end of this, he's going to be the one who's hurt. I was scared for Mimi at first, but I feel like it's actually going to be Josh. Interesting. Y'all let me know your thoughts down below. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.